try to come up in my comments acting weird like I don't see you. I see you, Japanese fluffy pancake lover 3000, talking about some, well, actually she might look. Hey guys, it's Angela. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, that's a little weird. Why haven't you subscribed yet so that we can become besties? Don't you know that the moment you subscribe, we automatically become besties? Like, this is literally a visual representation of what we would be the moment you hit the subscribe button. But it's okay. It is okay. The weather is getting nicer. I'm in a better mood. I'm patient. I'll wait. Anyways, in today's video, I know I jump scared a lot of you guys with my title, or maybe I didn't. Maybe you guys saw my title and you guys were like, yes, yes, finally. Because we're just on that like connected level. We just kind of understand each other, and all my besties know that we just kind of understand each other just by thinking and looking at each other. Yeah. In today's video, I'm gonna be talking about why I don't like J-dramas. And I have to put this disclosure out there because I don't want anybody to get their feelings hurt. I'm not saying that J-dramas are bad. In fact, there are a couple of J-dramas that I've liked, but what I am saying is that this video is basically gonna explain why I don't personally watch J-dramas and why I, como se dice? How do I say this? I don't really like J-dramas. Like, I'm gonna be real honest with you guys because you guys are my besties and I feel like we can have that level of vulnerability here. I don't really like J-dramas, like, at all. I'm telling you guys right off the bat, this video is like pure yap. I'll probably put in a couple clips here and there to basically explain what I'm talking about when I get there, but for the most part, I'm not really gonna be putting in that many clips or editing that much. So this is the kind of video that you watch when you're like getting ready or something, doing your makeup, doing your hair, washing the dishes, folding some clothes. Yeah, it's that type of video to just like watch in the background. So if you end up liking this kind of video that you can just play in the background, let me know and I'll try to push them out more often. With that being said, that's enough yapping, so let's just get right into the video. Starting off with something that might seem like it's a compliment, but like I don't mean it as a compliment. I mean it as a not compliment. I do not like how accurately J-dramas get adapted or adapted. Because a lot of the times, like if you're watching J-dramas, they most likely came from some sort of manga that was really popular and they decided to like turn it into a drama. And that's perfectly fine. A lot of things do that. Like if not mangas, then like novels. They either turn the novel into a drama or they turn the manga into the drama. It happens all over the place with like K-dramas, with Thai dramas, with C-dramas, like all the time. That's not my problem here. My problem specifically with J-dramas is like things that are okay to do in a manga while you're reading are not okay to do in real life. Now stay with me now. I'm gonna explain. Let's say you're walking down the street, right? And you see your beloved senpai and you actually lock eyes with him, all right? He looks at you for 0.5 seconds and a half. Let's give you that. I'm gonna give you guys some choices and I want you guys to tell me what you think is the best course of action in this situation. Do you A, recognize the fact that you've locked eyes with your senpai and say, damn, he's fine as hell in your head, and then continue about your day? B, do you act like you don't see him because when you see the finest person you've ever seen in your life, you decide to ignore them instead of actually going up to them and then wonder why you've been single your whole life? C, do you smile at them because they're most likely your classmate and they know you exist? Or do you D, do you stop, do you freeze up, do you start blushing, and then you say, did senpai just lock eyes with me? What do I do? Who do I tell? What would you do in that situation? I'm fool. That's what I mean by what they get adapted like weird. Like something that's okay to do in a manga where you're just scrolling through it and you're just like, oh, okay, they're exaggerating their responses so we can see how excited they are to see their senpai or how happy they are or how shocked they are. That makes sense in a manga. Why are you doing that in real life? Why are you hyperventilating in real life? I just want to know. I want to know what's going on in your psyche. They get adapted too well. Every gasp, every shock, every like stutter, every single part of it gets put into the actual drama where I feel like you can change it to where it's not doing all that. Do you guys get what I'm saying? I know you guys get what I'm saying. Like if you guys are acting like you don't know what I'm saying, you're the opposition. You're not supposed to be here. I can tell you're a spy sent from the J-drama producers to come here and act like you don't know what I'm talking about because you guys all know exactly what I'm talking about. Kind of going along with that, the second reason why I don't really like J-dramas or I can't really get into them or finish one without cringing myself to death is because they don't act like normal people. And I want to say this is even more true with like the female characters in the stories rather than the male characters, because they have this whole dynamic going on in J-dramas that I'll probably get into later. Like, apart from them not being able to have normal interactions, like how I mentioned earlier, a lot of the times J-dramas don't keep like the relationship dynamics normal. I'm gonna give you guys another example so you can understand what I'm talking about. So let's say like in J-dramas, the female lead finally gets with the male lead and they're dating and they're happy, whatever, da 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 da. Why are you acting like you've never talked to this man in your entire life? Why are you acting like you're a fan for this guy and this man doesn't know who you are? You guys have been dating for 4 months. Why are you still stuttering when he talks to you? One example I can bring up about this off the top of my head was Coffee and Vanilla. And if you know what I'm talking about, you freaky, you nasty girl, I know what you be watching. But in that show, they literally start dating and this girl acts like she can't even have a conversation with the dude. You guys are literally dating. I don't get it. And then the guy will find it like cute, but that's not cute. That's strange. You guys are in a relationship. You can't look at him. You can't lock eyes with him. You can't have a normal conversation with him without stuttering 50,000 different times. How have you guys been dating this long? And how do you think you're gonna be able to date for any further amount of time? I don't see this being a long-lasting relationship because you can't even talk to the dude. Like, I don't get it. It kind of goes into like another pet peeve I have where like a lot of these relationships and like J-dramas are done off of pure like attraction most of the time. And I'm not saying that like you can't find somebody attractive in order to date them. I understand that physical attraction is one of the main players when it gets into a relationship, but it's like you guys don't have anything in common. And how do I know you guys don't have anything in common? Because you guys don't talk to each other about anything. All they do is just talk about, oh wow, Misa-san, you're so cute, you're so adorable. Oh my gosh, Senpai-kun, I can't believe you're talking to me. You're so handsome. Wow, the most handsome, most popular guy want to talk to me, Misa-san. That's what they do over and over and over and over again until finally at the last episode, the girl is like, Senpai-kun accepts me for who I am. So I think that I'm finally secure in our relationship. And that's where the story ends. That is where the story ends. It's just so weird to me. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I don't get how these can be actual relationships. And I refuse to believe that any of these relationships last anything longer than 5 months total. Yeah, so sorry about it. Okay, now those two things were just basically how the characters act. But now I'm moving more to something that I find is like a deeper problem in all these dramas. And you guys all know what I'm talking about. It's the way they have this weird dynamic where the female lead acts like a child, like a literal child, a baby. It's like she can't shop for herself, she doesn't know how to do makeup, she doesn't know how to talk properly, she always needs to get like the okay from other people in order for her to do things. She acts like things beyond holding hands in relationships are like completely out of her mind, like things that can never happen. And I'm not saying that these are like bad, and I'm not saying that there's not people who are out there who like act this way, and again, I'm not saying there's anything bad about acting this way or having this limited knowledge. It's like they have this weird obsession with innocence where they want the girl to be completely innocent, completely pure, not have any knowledge of the outside world, and only the male lead is the one who can direct her and show her the world and introduce her to new experiences and be her first everything. Like, it's getting a little weird, but it's the fact that like you can tell they're doing it on purpose in order to like over infantilize the child. Like, oops, I said child. You see what I'm talking about? Like, they got that shit engraved in my mind. Over infantilize the female lead. Because mind you, these people be like 16 years old and older. I'm telling you, these are like college students acting like this. It's weird. Guys, it's weird. Can we please like stop for a second and acknowledge the fact that this is weird? They make the female lead act like children. And I'm just gonna leave it like that and move on because sometimes YouTube be a little snippy with that. So let's move on. Okay, this next thing is like a little niche, but it happens like all the time in a bunch of these dramas. So I feel like the need to mention it. Why do they act like the world's gonna collapse if the girl can't cook? Like, I get that like a lot of societies are very like male dominant or matriarchal and stuff like that, in the sense that they prioritize men and they expect women to like learn how to do things for guys. But like, it's one thing to have this kind of like mindset like 100 years ago, but now we all know it's not that deep even in those kind of societies. But for some reason in a whole bunch of these dramas, it'll be like, okay, Senpai-kun and I are finally dating, and now despite the fact that we're in high school and I'm literally a prepubescent child, I'm like 16 years old, I don't even know what college I want to go to, don't know what career I want to have, he's not gonna want to be with me anymore because he's not gonna want to make me his wife because I don't know how to cook. You will be okay. You will be okay. I promise you that. But it's also the fact that like, if you can't cook but you really want to learn how to cook, like if you really wanted to, you would. But like, they have like this dramatic breakdown where they start crying on the floor and stuff, talking about how he's gonna break up with her because she's not wife material and he'll never love like a girl who's worthless and can't cook. I literally like stare at the screen like, these are your problems? These are your problems. These are the things that you're worried about. If you have a list from most important to least important, this is at the top of your most important things to worry about. You must be bored because it's not that serious and it's not that deep. And then they'll have like the guy come in like a knight in shining armor and be like, Misa-chan, don't you know that I love you no matter how you are, no matter how useless you are? The fact that you can't sew, the fact that you can't cook, the fact that you can't clean. But me, Senpai-kun, I accept you for who you are because I love you. And then everybody clapped and they rode off into the sunset. Like, I can't take this, I can't take it seriously. I'm so sorry, I cannot take this seriously. And I let a lot of things pass, but this is not one of them. And this just kind of goes into my next thing where it's like, I have extreme secondhand embarrassment. And I know you guys who watch J-dramas are like, oh, like you got a light bulb flicking off in your head the moment I said that, because you can't have extreme secondhand embarrassment while also being a fan of J-dramas. Like, it's mutually exclusive. These things cannot happen at the same time. And it's because these J-dramas are genuinely so embarrassing. Like, I can't get through them. Like, I have to slam my laptop shut and run out of the room, do a lab, probably lost 15 pounds off of straight cardio from the fact that I've had to get away from my laptop just to get through these J-dramas. And since these characters, mainly the female leads, I'm not even gonna hold you, I don't know why they do this to our girls, but since they act the way that they do, and like I can't comprehend them actually doing these things in real life and people acting like this behavior is normal, I can't get through them. It's so hard. I cringe throughout the entirety of the episode. And it's so bad because like so many of these like J-dramas, like they actually have good plots and they're actually like decent, especially if you read the manga. Because like I was saying, a lot of times they're mangas before they're adapted into dramas. But like this just kind of goes back to everything I've been talking about where like all of those things combined make it so that when you're actually watching the drama, it just sucks to get through. Like it hurts to get through. Like I use that as exposure therapy so I can go watch my K-dramas and C-dramas in peace with no secondhand embarrassment because I've just been exposed to the worst kind of secondhand embarrassment possible. That is what the J-drama's purpose is for. Another thing that I don't like about J-dramas, this is more of like a pet peeve, honestly. Like this is something, well, I guess all of these are pet peeves, but this is more of like a pet peeve. Like it really don't matter. It's just a me problem. I don't like how they have like no in between for like the age range or the appropriate age range that should be watching the show. It's like they have like the series where like they barely hold hands by the end of the last episode. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you have like what feels like a Euphoria episode where they're like fucking on the first episode and stuff. And I'm just like, whoa, what's going on? Like, and the problem with the spectrum where there's like one side where they're holding hands and the other side where they're making out and sleeping with everybody they see is that there's no middle ground. There's nothing in the middle. So I can't even call it a spectrum. It's just two sides. And like I said before, I don't think that all J-dramas are bad. It's just that there's a lot of things that happen, like I mentioned, that make it so that I personally can't watch them. There are a lot of J-dramas that I think actually have good plots. So now I'm going to be moving on to those J-dramas that have good plots, but I'm going to tell you the reason why I also usually can't get through those ones, or why I usually end up finishing the drama like, oh, that was good, but I wish they didn't do this. If you guys are my besties and have been watching my channel, then you know that one of the things I cannot get behind, because I'm a pussy ass bitch, I know, is that I don't like sad endings. Like I can't stand sad endings because they get me in my feelings too much. I think about them for too long. I'm always like, they could have done this, they could have done this, why did it have to go the way it went? Like I get in my feels. J-dramas will have the most beautiful story you have ever seen. Best cinematography, best acting, best music. Like you got me speaking Japanese just to sing along. The most beautiful stories I've ever seen in my entire life. And then it results in death in the end. The female lead dies or the male lead dies, or like one of them gets cancer, the other one gets in a coma, like one of them's trapped in another timeline and they can't meet anymore because they can only meet in one timeline after they go on the train and on this specific date, and therefore they can meet each other for 1 week, and for some reason they decide to get married and fall in love, but they can't even fall in love for real because again they only meet one time a week because they got on a train for some reason. I still don't understand that plot. If y'all know what I'm talking about, y'all know what I'm talking about. That's the reason why I also can't really get into J-dramas, because I know that if it's not any of those other things that I just mentioned earlier in this video, it's the fact that it has a sad ending. And for me, like I cannot watch sad endings. If you guys can watch sad endings, then you obviously have a bunch of J-dramas that you probably enjoy and can watch despite the fact that they have sad endings. But me personally, I can't do that. I cannot. I'm sorry. Like it'll literally be like the most beautiful aesthetic ever. Like it's wonderful, it's perfect, it's marvelous. The story has been great so far. They act like normal people. They respond like normal people. They have regular people interactions, right? Most beautiful thing you've ever seen. There's 20 minutes left of this episode and then all of a sudden, it's been 15 years since I last saw him. He was the most beautiful experience I've ever had. It wasn't until just this morning that I found out that he actually had cancer. And he left because he didn't want me to know. It was why he was so mean to me in those last 3 weeks we knew each other. It's why he acted like he didn't even want to be near me. It's because he wanted me to hate him so I wouldn't grieve him. And yes, I know that we only knew each other for 6 months, but I will love and hold those 6 months in my heart for the rest of my life. I'll never be able to move on from Senpai-kun. And it shows her elderly in a fucking rocking chair 45 years later, and they have the audacity to have some cherry blossoms blowing in the fucking wind. You know what? Fuck you. Yeah, you know what? Hell yeah. I can't stand it, and therefore I can't enjoy it. I'm so sorry about it. And if it's not any of those, then it's this weird glorified weird relationship age dynamic thing they have going on here, where it's like the girl is 15 years old and the man is like 32, or the guy is like 16 and the lady is like 45. You can't fuck that little ass dog. What are y'all doing? Why are we trying to normalize this? And that's one of my bigger pet peeves with these J-dramas too. Like, they keep on doing these morally corrupt relationship dynamics. It's like either they're cheating on each other, or like one of them's a minor, or some other bullcrap. Like, they just love this. Like, why do you guys like this so much? Y'all are freaky. Like, I know who you are. I know how you move. I can't hang with you no more because I know your character. And don't try to come up in my comments acting weird like I don't see you. I see you, Japanese fluffy pancake lover 3000, talking about some, well, actually she might look 11 years old, but in reality, she's a 6,472-year-old demon dragon. How can't you see that? Which obviously makes her of age. And actually, if we really want to get into it, the age of consent in Japan is... Shut up. Shut up. I'm not doing this with you. I'm not doing this with you. Like, I have too many things to worry about. I have too many bills to pay. My college tuition isn't gonna pay itself. I don't have time for you, so don't be in my comments talking about that. I know who you are, so I'm stopping you before you get there. So that basically sums up the reason why you guys will most likely never get a J-drama video from me on this channel. Apart from this video explaining why I don't watch J-dramas, because there's either one major caveat that's making it so that I cannot finish the drama, or two, I really liked it, but I've hidden it deep within the depths of my memory because I'm trying to forget it because it crushed my soul, my heart, my spirit, and possibly my future. And I'm still trying to get over it to this day. Other than that, if it wasn't any of those other things, there's a good chance that like I watched the drama, I like the drama, I recommend the drama, but in my head, I don't consider it a drama. Because like I said, I've read a whole bunch of mangas, I've read a whole bunch of novels, so it's like a lot of the times before they finally get adapted into their drama form, because that's usually the last level of adaptation, I've read the manga before. So Saiki Kusuo, yes, it was a nice J-drama, it was funny, it didn't have any of these other things I was talking about, but to me, it's a manga and an anime first. Alice in Borderland, yes, great adaptation, but to me, it was a manga first. You get what I'm saying? Like all those other dramas like it, like Parasite or Death Note or Ajin, like where they've gotten like an adaptation, I don't consider it a drama because I've read the manga. Oh my gosh, I'm Dr. Seuss. So that's probably the reason why, like, if you're like, yeah, you said all of this and this and this, but there are these dramas that are actually really good and don't have any of that, it's probably because they're all in that genre where they're like really good adventure, like game type things going on there. But I've read the manga before, so that's why I don't consider it a drama and it doesn't come to mind. But if you're like, okay, but like this is a really good drama and it's not anything like that, it's just a really good drama and it doesn't have any of these other things you're talking about, bestie, hook me up, please. Because these J-dramas have one of the best cinematographies I've ever seen in my entire life. Too bad the story is usually shit. So I wish and I hope that you guys, that if you guys do have these dramas that you're like, this is like a really good drama, I need to put you on, please put them in the comments. I will be watching them. I will be adding them onto my never ending list that never ends, and therefore I will keep adding on to it because why not? There's no way it's gonna end anyway, so I might as well just keep adding on. With that being said, that's all for today's video. I'm gonna have a blast editing this because it's only probably gonna take me like 3 hours. If you guys like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up to let me know that you did. If you guys really like this video, how about you subscribe so that we can become besties? Come on. YouTube literally shows me that like only 8% of you guys are subscribed to my channel, which like kind of hurts my feelings because I thought that we were besties, and like I really hope that if you're sitting here watching through my videos, you would also subscribe to my channel. Yeah, and while you're there, don't forget to follow my Instagram. Anyway, I'm really done this time, so thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Mwah! And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Again, this is just a disclaimer. I'm not saying that all J-dramas are bad. Please, have mercy, don't kill me. I'm just a child of the Lord.